This video is sponsored by Honkai Star Rail.
最強じゃねえか。よし、メノ。俺がこの能力で活躍できるとこ教えて。
It's definitely very hard to come and find isekai anime that you haven't watched. The problem is that this genre is way too popular, and everybody just wants to watch every isekai anime out there. But I went ahead and actually compiled extremely underrated isekai shows you may not have even seen for a chance at getting, hopefully, a few anime added into your watch list. Sit back and enjoy as we dive into the adventure of another world. I'll be starting this list off with a very criminally underrated isekai focused on romance, but also gourmet or food that is presented to the folks of another world. It involves a love relationship between a human who has the power to see ayakashi or spirits, and also an ogre or a lord who falls in love with a human. He invites the girl to another world to run a local inn or, just a little hotel for others to come and stay and produce some simple but delicious looking food never seen before in the fantasy realm. It's a josei themed series, which means more for adults without any silly things happening, but a more serious road ahead to bring you the finest quality romance in an isekai show that you've ever seen.
Arigatou, Kenji-san. Arigatou.
お礼を言わなければならないのは私の方です。
Just before we continue with the video, a quick word from today's sponsor, and that is none other than Honkai Star Rail, developed by MiHoYo. Honkai Star Rail is an adventure fantasy RPG game from the makers of Genshin Impact, a global hit game with over 80 million downloads and a unique adventure to explore the wonders of the space and universe. The game features enhanced diverse combat capabilities with endless team building to pick and choose what characters you enjoy the most. With more than 20 playable characters, the choice is yours to make for who you wish to level up, make stronger, and become unstoppable during battle. Discover the open world, find treasure chests and hidden loot across the open world, interact with characters and their unique backstory or lore. And now introducing two brand new 5-star limited characters, Blade and Kafka. Blade is a powerful wind-type damage dealer and a formidable swordsman who will be your enemy or ally. For me, he looks the most badass, and I'd for sure summon for him. On the other hand, we have Kafka, a very captivating antagonist who deals lightning damage to her foes, and she is actually the original creator of the protagonist that you first start the game with. Great looking, powerful character that I recommend trying to summon for. And now, with update 1.2 that was just released, the main storyline for, the character Jianzhu Luofo reaches its climax. Various factions and powers come together for the decisive battle. Two new maps released called the Alchemy Commission and Scale Gorge Waterscape that will be available for you to explore. There will also be interesting limited time events, monsters, and most importantly, the free 10 warps for summoning characters. To get these, just log in for 7 days to claim 10 Star Rail special passes completely for free. Get your hands on the game and download Honkai Star Rail for free and play it today. Link will be in the description and also pinned in the comments. Man, how long has it been since I've actually recommended a reverse harem series? It's been a long time, but this here is an isekai-focused show of a girl transported to another world to find herself surrounded by beautiful and handsome guys. It's an interesting shoujo series of how the girl was chosen to become an instructor or a teacher at a school at an academy created by the gods. And not only does she teach other students, but also the other handsome dudes that she met. I assume you already know, how reverse harem works with, one girl and a bunch of guys. It's mostly, as always, directed towards female audiences, but I am very sure that even male audiences or you guys can enjoy stuff like this too. So anyone here actually wants a wholesome anime with a cute and cuddly bear girl who puts up a crazy good fight against monsters or enemies? Well, look no further, because here we have the recommendation called Kuma Bear. This is a very underrated isekai not many have seen, an adventure of a girl who loves and dies for VR MMO games, and one day she actually got stuck without able to log out of, and her adventure in an isekai world has just begun as an overpowered girl dressed in a bear outfit or costume. It combines amazing comedy and action with wholesome characters and moments that you will fall in love with. It's kinda sad to think about this, but many people just overlook Endride, and while it may not be the best isekai out there, it doesn't really help the fact that this anime is quite shallow to begin with. But welcome to the isekai genre. I mean, a lot of anime are very similar when it comes to, isekai, but there is something about the show that I kinda enjoyed despite others saying no. Yes, it's slow-paced, but the interaction between both protagonists and how they must work together to fight evil in the other world is what saved it for me. Honestly though, despite whatever situation an isekai shows in, people will always be down to check it out.
何やってんだよ、親父。
まだわからないか、シュン。お前は私の息子ではない。
Arata the Legend is another underrated isekai show of how a real-life boy named Arata and the otherworld Arata suddenly switch places and live in each other's lives. It is so unique and so fresh, something I've been interested in seeing, and it delivered on that so well. Arata in the otherworld had a bounty on his head for the accusation of betrayal, and thus he needs to escape or he'll be killed. And that's when he actually switched places with another Arata from reality, where the regular human being is now has a legendary sword in his hand, making him a powerful hero to save the other world from disaster. It's quite simple, cliche, just another one of those I'm gonna save the world type of story, but hey, I enjoyed it, and you should check it out.
あなた、後ろだ。来るよ。
前衛クロスゲージ明度20発射。やったー。
Now this here is criminally underrated. I have no idea why. With the amount of anime that come out each year, there is bound to be a show that gets overlooked or tossed in the shadows, and that's the case with this brand new recent anime that aired not long ago, saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. A girl from real life is in a financial disaster, as we all know. Having lost her family in an accident and nothing more left can be done, she was about to fall and just die, until she was actually transported to another world, and there she meets an entity that allows her to get goods from her world and sell it to another world at a much higher price, granting her more money and being able to save at least 80,000 gold coins before she can happily retire and live a peaceful life.
何？
ドン引きだよ。
When it comes to another world anime, you don't normally see shows focused on food, but more towards, the usual overpowered protagonists. But this show is a joyful experience where characters from another world enter a restaurant to eat delicious-looking food.
揚げたての香ばしい衣に丁寧に下処理された柔らかい肉。噛めば噛むほど甘みが増していく油。
Don't expect food to be like on the level of, let's say, Food Wars or anything too crazy. It's more simple, humble, and sweet.
全体の食感は柔らかく、シュライプの身は程よい歯触り。
It's a slice of life anime where you see characters not knowing what this food is and try it out for their very first time and see their cool reaction. Nothing more to it, but hey, at least you can, give it a shot.
なんかあるわよ飛べ
How about this time, a more hilarious comedic adventure in another world where a big gamer guy gets transported to another world to become the bodyguard of a princess and help her prepare for her arranged wedding. Of course, he must protect her from the militant faction who are seeking to capture the princess before she can actually complete her marriage. It's highly recommended if you wish to laugh out loud with the crazy events and funny moments that, happen, as it's heavy into the comedy and less serious about all the other things that happen. You ever wondered, let's say, what another world would be like when an average handyman gets transported over there? Well, nothing really. I mean, he's useless but does excel in lockpicking and thievery skills and just overall boosting the morale of his party. Man Saitou in Another World is a simple isekai, yet it's so underrated due to the amount that find it boring or dull, but trust me, it's neither of these things or what others say. This isekai is a gem, I tell you. A gem of the winter 2023 season. It's funny, emotional, and epic to watch with great animation by Studio C2C. And trust me, you all should not be overlooking a show like this. Finally, we got the last isekai on today's list, and I had to put it up for the anime show with one of the best female protagonists in a captivating and most intriguing storyline ever seen in an isekai, the Executioner and her way of life.
最強じゃねえか。よし、メノ。俺がこの能力で活躍できるとこ教えて。
It's an interesting show for me because a protagonist named Menno is set to eliminate any otherworldly folks who enter this fantasy world, defeat them before spreading any inventions or some crazy ideas into this fantasy world as that has ever seen. But most of all, if they actually possess dangerous power. The twists and events in the show will drive you to just get off your chair wondering what will happen next. An adventure unlike before in the isekai realm and something to behold. Thank you all so much for watching all the way to the very end. As always, subscribe if you did enjoy and let me know down below what is your favorite isekai anime. Thanks for sticking around and I'll be catching you all in the next one.